Hey Adventures, this video is going to be about some of our goals for 2021, both a little bit channel-wise, but mostly reading-wise.
My first goal for 2021 is I want to read at least 5 classics that I haven't read before. I find that I get into almost like a rut of reading new books, or there's so many books I haven't read that I forget about the classics. So that's one of my goals for this year.
One of the biggest things that I have had issues with since we started this channel is being consistent in my daily reading. I pretty much read every single day, but I would like to get to where I have a consistent time set aside to where I can read books, whether that's usually I try for between 4 and 6. That doesn't always that doesn't always happen when I'm working, so sometimes I try it later, but I just want to get to where I have an hour to 2 hours every day that I'm spending reading. And if I can do that, it'll really help me to get through the books that I need to get through.
So something else that I want to do in 2021 is get a better grasp on one particular author. I know a lot of times we talk about books and we'll review the book and be like, well, we don't know this author super well, so it's hard to say if this is something she does in general, he or she does in general, or whatnot. So I would like to have a couple authors that I know well enough to be able to say, okay, I've seen this consistently in their writing. So that's what I'm going to be doing this year, trying to find picking one author and getting a better grasp of how they write and the stories they write.
So another problem that I've run into is we will plan to do a book review for the channel, and then I will never get to the book because I've got so many other books that I need to read. So one of my goals is to be better about reading those books that we're planning on reviewing. So I may decide to do something like I start every single month reading that book that I need to for the review, or something like that, or maybe not every single month, whatever, because we don't always have reviews every month, which we should, but we don't.
Another goal that I have is to not feel guilty about reading nonfiction. A lot of the nonfiction stuff I read is kind of personal and I don't feel like sharing it, especially since this is a fiction-driven channel. So I read this book, but it takes reading time out of my day, and I feel a little bit of guilty about reading those books. So my goal this year is to not feel guilty about reading nonfiction and to actually finish the books that I've started. I've got a pile that I've started and I haven't finished it, so I'm going to be working through those.
My next goal is to try and get into new genres and authors. I stick mostly to fantasy because so far it's the one that has been proven to be the most proven that I generally like it the most. But there's other genres that I do like, so I would like to read more in those other genres other than fantasy that I do like, but also to branch out into some genres and authors that I haven't read before.
And kind of along the same line as that, I would like to read one book from each of the genres I'm about to list in this year. So I want to read at least one fantasy, one sci-fi, one historical fiction, one non-fiction, one mystery, one dystopian, and a horror or a thriller.
My next goal is I want to read 30 books. I think I will be at about 25, 26 at the end of this year. We're filming this before, obviously, because it's going up before 2021 or 2020 ends. But I think that I can read more than that. Part of the holdup this year was I read 4 Stormlight books, or 3 Stormlight books, and I'm working my way through the 4th one. So I'm hoping that next year, because I don't have to focus so much on those 4 massive books, I can use that time to read more books than that. So I'm hoping I can read at least 30. I think I can, and I should be able to read even more than that, but my goal is 30.
And the last goal I have is that I want to get through at least 2 books a month. This should be a given, but sometimes I have to remind myself, I'll take a break from reading, and I have to remind myself, you have to keep reading. So that's almost like a given goal, but yeah, that's one that I thought I'd write down to remind myself.
So these last 2 kind of go hand in hand, and they're specifically channel goals. So one thing that we'd like to improve upon is planning videos. We do this thing where we tend to plan the video the day before we're shooting it, or the day of we're shooting it. That's not good. We want to have them planned and even filmed before the day that it's going up, or before 3 days before it goes up, or whatever. So one of the goals is to be better about planning videos. And then the second part is be better about editing videos. Again, I have to set aside time to edit, and I need to make sure that I'm doing that, but also we also want to improve our editing skills in the videos, because sometimes they're a little bit choppy and not quite great to watch. So we're hoping to improve that as well. But the most important thing for the channel goals is that we want to put out content that you guys actually enjoy watching. So we will be trying to communicate more and to find out what we're doing that you do and don't like, and how to change it so that it's still us, it's still how we do things, but is more appealing to you guys.
And along with buckling down and actually filming the videos that you guys have requested. So
yes, yeah. If you enjoyed our content, please consider subscribing to our channel and liking this video and commenting down below if you have any thoughts for us. Thanks for watching, guys. Stay warm.